Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes.
Let's take a look at how to play Disney Return of the Headless Horseman. This game can accommodate 2 to 4 players, and the age recommendation is 6 and up. To get started, in addition to opening up the game board, we're going to need to assemble our tree. Go ahead and place the green Ichabod figure on the farm and the Headless Horseman on the purple arrow space adjacent to the farm. Mix up the 8 scare tokens and place them face down. Place the speed tile with the 2 side up next to the game board. Go ahead and shuffle the cards. Each player will draw 4 cards. Now, in order to win the game, players are going to work together to get Ichabod all the way to the covered bridge. But if all 4 pumpkin tokens are ever face up, then the Headless Horseman catches Ichabod and we lose the game. At this point in the game, setup is complete. Now let's take a look at how gameplay works. Each player will play a card from their hand. They'll secretly choose a card, laying it face down in front of them. When everyone has played a card, flip them all face up. Place them in a row at the bottom of the game board. For this phase of the game, we're looking at the numbers in the top left-hand corner of the card. If 2 or more of the numbers in the card row match, we're going to move Ichabod. But in our situation here, since no numbers match, we're going to repeat step 1. Once all players have played their second face-down card, go ahead and reveal those, placing them in order at the bottom of the game board. Gameplay will continue just like this until there is at least 1 match among all the cards in the row. As soon as 2 of those numbers in the upper left-hand corner of the card match, it's time to move Ichabod. Ichabod is going to move the matching number, which in our situation here is 1, along the path towards the covered bridge. If by chance there's more than 1 match in the row, he always moves the lower number. Now, on a player's turn, if they only have 1 card left and need to play a card, they need to yell Ichabod. And at that point, they'll spin the tree. Whatever space the tree lands on will dictate how many cards that player gets to draw. There's also a few spaces on the board we need to talk about. The first icon on the board we're going to look at is called the secret path. If Ichabod ends on this space, we can simply move him to the end of the secret path. Now let's take a look at the tree space. If Ichabod lands here, we'll simply spin the tree. Then we'll be able to move Ichabod that number of spaces. So for this scenario, it would be 2. And lastly, let's look at the scare space. Ichabod gets scared, which means we're going to need to flip a scare token. Once Ichabod has completed his movements, it's time for the Headless Horseman to take his turn. Using the same cards we used to move Ichabod, we're also going to use these cards to determine how far the Headless Horseman gets to move. Only this time, we're going to use all the cards, not just the cards that have the matching number Ichabod used. Headless Horseman movements can be found on the lower left-hand side of each card. So we can see here, when adding these up, our Headless Horseman will get to advance 5 spaces. If there's ever a question mark icon on that lower left-hand side of a card, look over at the speed tile to determine how far the Headless Horseman moves for each question mark icon. In a more advanced game, you can play with the advanced side of the speed token, but for this example, we'll just keep it on normal difficulty. Now, if by chance during gameplay, the Headless Horseman would catch or pass Ichabod, it is going to initiate a scare. When this happens, place the Headless Horseman on the space directly behind Ichabod and move Ichabod to the next open blank space. And we're also going to need to flip one of those scare tokens. Now, the Headless Horseman will never take the secret path, scare space, or tree space into account. Those are only for Ichabod. After both Ichabod and the Headless Horseman have resolved their moves, these cards can then be discarded and a new round will begin. Now, gameplay is going to take place just like this until Ichabod either can get to the covered bridge safely or until all 4 of those pumpkin tokens are face up and revealed, in which case the players lose the game. There is one other unique space on the game board that I want you to be aware of. There's a fork in a road here where the left is a purple space and this path color we've been on leads us to the tree. Now, Ichabod can never go on the purple space and must take the tree route. When Ichabod reaches the tree at the end of this path, you're gonna attach him to the spinning tree. Go ahead and spin the tree. Once the tree has completed its spin, go ahead and take Ichabod off and place him on the blank space at the end of the green path you've spun. And of course, the Headless Horseman then will take the purple path. And that's a quick look at how to play Disney Return of the Headless Horseman game. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes.